many lamps do you think an electric car can power? 1, 10, 50. Today, we're going to turn this BYD into a giant power bank and test it out in real life. I'm leaving Sao Paulo and heading to Barra do Pirai in Rio de Janeiro to take part in the OBA rocket journey. It's 390 kilometers, and I'm using a hybrid car. Yes, it has enough range to go there and back without me worrying about fuel charging or anything else. And this car has a really cool feature. We can use its battery to power anything we want. It's just like a regular wall outlet. This here is the BYD Song Plus Premium. It can travel up to 1,200 kilometers without needing to refuel. And it's one of BYD's super hybrids. That means, in addition to an electric motor, it also has a combustion engine that kicks in when the car needs it. This happens both to recharge the battery and to provide extra power during acceleration or uphill driving. When both engines work together, the BYD Song Plus Premium delivers 324 horsepower, and it also has all-wheel drive, delivering power to all four wheels. The feature we'll be using today is called V2L, or Vehicle to Load, which means discharge mode. Basically, it lets us plug electrical devices into the car. The bridge is this little gadget here, which looks like a power strip, but instead of plugging it into your home outlet, you plug it into the car. And here on the other end, we have two outlet connections, just like a power strip or extension cord, where you can plug in whatever you want. Let's do a basic test here, charging a phone, okay? Of course, you wouldn't really use this feature just to charge your phone. This is super useful when you're going somewhere with no electricity, like a campsite, or if you want to power equipment from your car, like a sound system, or in our case, as video creators, lighting gear. And what could really make a difference in your life? An emergency situation, for example. Imagine it's your wedding day. You've rented a gorgeous warehouse at a beautiful countryside estate. Guests start arriving. Everyone's happy, excited for the party, with a cinematic sunset in the background. Night falls, a strange wind picks up, it starts raining, and suddenly, the lights go out. Could this car power the entire wedding lighting? That's exactly what we're going to test right now in practice. So let's agree on one thing from this moment on. There's no light in this video that doesn't come from the BYD's battery, okay? As you probably guessed, I brought a lot of lamps for this video. So let's go ahead and turn on the first one right now, just to make sure you can see me clearly. There we go. We already have one lamp on. I brought several string lights, and the idea is to keep adding one lamp after another and see exactly how far the car can go. And yes, don't worry, I brought more lamps than I'll ever need. All right, let's turn on a few more lamps here, at least enough to make our workspace more comfortable, right? All the lamps I'm using are LED, and each one uses 9 watts. The wattage of the lamps was a strategic decision for us. Since I was already buying a never-ending lamps, I figured the best option would be to get the same kind we use every day at Manuel do Mundo. I've already turned on a dozen lamps, and the lighting is already insane. We've got tons of lamps here, and I honestly have no idea exactly how many we'll be able to plug in. Actually, I do have a rough idea, because I did some calculations based on the V2L power output. That's this adapter that lets us plug things into regular outlets. But you know we love testing things in real life. So at the end of the video, we'll see if my calculations match what we're actually testing. Right here on the car's dashboard, I can monitor what's happening. I can see how much battery is left, how much power I'm drawing in kilowatt hours, and how long the battery will last if I keep consuming at this rate. There's also an option here to let the car automatically start the combustion engine if it detects the battery charge is too low, and I'm going to leave that on. Since I already have enough light to work with, I'll start attaching lamps to a string that's currently unplugged, because it's not a great idea to screw in bulbs while the cord is live. I could get shocked. And as you can probably imagine, this is a huge job, so I've enlisted the help of Fernando and Thiago from Manuel do Mundo, plus Patrick and Ronaldo from OBA, who came to check out the shoot and ended up having to help out too. The light strings I got are so long, I don't even know where to start unrolling them. Good grief. This is going to turn into an endless tangle of wires. This string is 50 meters long, 1 lamp per meter. We're trying to stretch it out so we don't step on it or get it all tangled. But it's so long, there's no space to fully lay it out. It took us about half an hour just to install this string. Look, 50 unlit lamps, 12 already lit, that makes 62, 1, 3. And Wow. With just this, the wedding would already be set, right? Dang, that's awesome! We already have more than enough lighting for a party. This place would definitely be lit. Now, let's add some decoration, some flair, some pizza. If this works out, we'll have a total of 100 lamps. 1, 2, 3, ha ha. Wow, what a beautiful wedding. Lights that never end. Another 50 lamps. I have to admit something. When I first mentioned lighting a wedding, I thought I was exaggerating a bit. But honestly, for a real wedding, 150 lamps might actually be more than enough. Look, we decided to install the bulbs before hanging the string. But now that it's loaded with lamps, it won't unroll anymore. We might have to remove all the bulbs, unroll the string, and install everything again. With these new ones, we'll reach 200 lamps. Time to revisit the calculation I did on the whiteboard. Here it is. Our V2L adapter has a capacity of 2,500 watts. That's a lot, and we're using 9-watt lamps, pretty bright bulbs. But if we divide the adapter's capacity by the lamp wattage, we get the maximum number of lamps we could theoretically connect at full power. 278 lamps. We've already connected 200, and we still have 2 more 50 lamp strings. Technically, 1 more should work, but will it handle both? We're about to hit the adapter's power limit. 250 lamps. This last batch is, by my own reckoning, a bit risky because it goes beyond the adapter's limit. So let's make a deal. You won't show this video to anyone at BYD, okay? 3, 2, 1. This right here is 300 lamps powered by an electric car. If you thought it would power far fewer than this, I think this video deserves a thumbs up. Don't you agree? Two important things to note here. First, we're using lamps, but you know this could power anything that plugs into an outlet, as long as it doesn't exceed 2,500 watts. At a campsite, for example, you could run a popcorn machine or a sandwich press. Second, and I know a lot of you will ask this, how long can these lamps stay lit? Could it really last through an entire wedding? When we started the video, I showed you the battery level. It was at 63%. Now, 3 hours later, with all these lamps on, it's down to 43%. Well, and the display says it could last another 2 hours, and that's without the car running to recharge the battery. If we turned the car on, it would last much longer than that.